in Singapore, now the bulk of the Singaporean audience, the problem is asset progression. It is good thing. I will feel that you should buy properties in your own country. Okay. Now, when you buy in Singapore, because one person can only own one property. If you put two properties, three properties, the tax go up. Okay. It's like 8 to 10 is ridiculous. So what you need to do is to buy and sell, and then get a bigger house. So excuse the rest, is a government flat called HDB that will start from 500,000. After 5 years, it's called a HDB, right? For all that are not Singaporeans. After 5 years, hopefully it's now 1 million. But your loan was 400,000. Okay, that's called asset progression. 1 million you buy, what can you buy with 1 million? Okay, when you sell 1 million, you have cash. 400 plus a profit of 500, right? You minus off tax, all that, you probably end up with about 400 plus 450 of profit is 850,000 of cash. So the next thing you want to buy, you sell, right? After 5 years, the next thing you want to buy is a condo. Now the condo now is worth 2 million. Okay, so 850, you borrow another 1.15 million of loan. See, notice your loan get bigger and bigger. So at this time, you need to service a bigger loan. And then after 5 years, hopefully it goes to 3 million. Now 3 million, then you have made a $900,000 profit. $900,000 profit, right? Plus your initial capital. So now you have 1.75 million cash. Then the next thing you want to do is to buy a condo, and then landed is a house, a terrace. For those that is 5 million. This is called asset progression. Good, very good. Okay, but the problem is your loan get bigger and bigger. So to buy a landed 1.75 million, you need to borrow 3.25 million. Can anyone tell me at the age by then, you are at 30 years old? Then by the time you hit the landed journey at 45, what is the mortgage you're going to get for 3.25 million? Can anyone guess? Can anyone guess what is the mortgage payment you're going to get for 3.25 million at the age of 45 in Singapore? That you have to pay back your P plus I, your principal plus. Is that true? 45 to 55, 65. Okay, you can borrow up to 65, but then after 10 years, I would say that your mortgage for the first year will be 20,000 because you can borrow up to 65. After that, you can restructure your loan, and then to 75, it drops to 15K, thereabouts. Hey, 15K is a lot, isn't it, Srinesh and Sir Hon? Okay, it is a lot. And what if you lose your job? I'm telling you, with AI, it's very, very dangerous. So what we will do is that we decouple. Okay, the husband buys one, the wife buys one, and then hopefully one is to live in. So you better service that $15,000 a month loan. The other one is to collect rental. So when you have rental, the problem in Singapore is 15,000, right? What is a rental, typical rental for a landed house? Any idea? In Singapore, I tell you, it's 8 to 10. Correct. So you are still negative 5K. I will dare say that it's 8,000. Okay, but I haven't even factored in property tax and all that. It's about 8 to 10. So it's 5 to 7K negative. 5 to 7K negative and 15K, two landed properties, $20,000 per household negative. It's a very risky game, right? So you hope to run this game, and at the same time your career is very good until you hit 65. Oh, you heave a sigh of relief and you say, oh, now it's time for me to sell this and then pay off the landed and then have some spare cash. And then that's it. Okay. Is there a better way? Is there a better way? I'm not saying this is a bad way. Yes, this is one way that you can do. All right. There is also another way to do. Okay. Like just now, somebody asked me about loans. So what you can do also is this. 10 properties in 10. My journey is 10 in 10. Okay. I don't care where you buy. The key is to buy in countries where the rental must cover your mortgage. So that each property is like your slave, your worker that works for you. Okay, it keeps working away, self-sustaining, possible that if you give you some cash flow back, and then it's a slave that you have a pet. At the end of 10 years, oh, first, second, third property has doubled in value. So 10 in 10 strategy is what I went through. Okay, 10 in 10. What it means is at the end of 10 years, it gets very exciting. Very, very exciting. What happens is that at the end of 10 years, you started at 30 years old, by 40 years old, you're fine. If you can do 10 in 10 properties in 5 years, even better. I did 10 in 10 because wow, my work was very tiring, okay, in finance industry. So what happens is 10 in 10, you will realize that the first 3 properties has already almost doubled in value. Now, what you can do with this is to sell the properties, pay down the loan of these properties, and your cash flow will start to increase. Correct? Great, isn't it? And you start to have choices. So you can sell and then do this. So when you're expending hardly any cash flow, positive, slight negative to positive, but at the end of the day, if you do that, your cash flow goes up, you pay down. Another 12 years, another 3 more years, year 13, the value of these properties have also gone up. Okay, you take a loan, you can sell another 1 property and pay off everything. But before you know it, 10 properties, you're down to only 5 properties, all fully paid up with a cash flow that is up. You can continue to grow your portfolio if you find it very exciting. It becomes a business and it becomes a passion. Okay, so this is the journey. All right, it's called the B4R strategy. The B4R strategy is brilliant. It's been invented and started since in the West, but I think it's been practiced by a lot of people. What is B4R? Buy, refurbish, add value to the property, rent it out to get income straight away, cash flow it, refinance, finance, and then recycle and buy the next one. Now, so let me share with you the journey of what I've done further. Sounds exciting, no? Okay, so how does it compare to REITs? Comparison to REITs is very passive. It's very passive. And REITs give you 8 to 10% return. It is for people who totally don't want to do anything. I just want to get 8 to 10% return. Okay. You can do 12 also if you're very good at it. You can ask Bianca what are the better REITs. I do think that there are some good ones, but not many REITs. When you attend the booster class, I will also talk to you about the REITs. There are challenges to REITs. And the problem also is, in short, is also that it's good income generating, but a lot of it, the capital gains is already very capped because the developer put into the REITs already, the value is very high. Okay, so and then also the REITs pay you 90% of the income. Every few years, they have to do a rights issue because when you want to renovate and refurbish the property, they don't have money and you have to pay out 90%. So there are challenges, but in general, studies have shown it's 8 to 10%. Now, why I do physical? I do buy REITs. I do physical property is to achieve 15 and above. Every property must do 15% and above so that my money works very, very hard for me. Okay, now, I hope you are excited from what I shared. Okay, so now why me? The third why, remember, recap. Why invest? We all agree, right? Why property? Many, many ways to go about it. Okay, property stocks and options, crypto. Why us? Okay, why us? The third why. Well, I've been a research analyst. I cover stocks on Chinese companies, Hong Kong companies, consumer industry for 3 years. I've been in corporate banking, in real estate. I've done syndication, loan syndication, and technology companies. What is loan syndication? Let me share with you. When one bank doesn't want to take the risk of lending to one property, it can be a building, it can be worth 100 million. So several banks will lend. That's called syndicate. A syndicate sounds very bad. It's like a gang, right? Syndication. So this is called a syndication deal. It can also be called a club deal. Okay. Now I've also lent to technology companies. I've lent to system integrators, SaaS companies. They will quickly pay back the loan because SaaS company don't really need, good tech companies don't really need to borrow much money. That's the problem. So notable projects, I have done some debt issuances to REITs, so I know them intimately. So for 15 years, I have served in the investment advisory function to wealth management. So I've covered almost everything: private equity, hedge funds, private credit, unit trust, bonds, equities, forex, almost everything. Because in wealth management as a financial advisor, I need to know everything. I'm like the ChatGPT before ChatGPT. So on my own, I have a portfolio around the world. Now, somebody asked me, Soo Kim, that do I have all over? Yes, I bought 2 properties in Singapore. After that, I can't do anything. I had to do asset progression. Each one have to hold 5 years for asset progression. Before the valuation goes up, I can trade for higher property. But in the meantime, all the savings I had, I also put into overseas property. I bought in Australia, I bought in UK, I bought in Malaysia. So, and I have done joint venture teams with several friends. I've partnered with Josh, my cousin. I partnered with several people. So today I am US dollar. I've about US 10 million worth of real estate assets and 5 million of stocks. So I studied CFA and chartered alternative. Okay, now next. Okay, why me? Now, before you pay for courses, make sure that the trainer has done it. Look for the track record. Otherwise, follow the historical prediction over the 3 years to see if their timing is right. It takes a long time. Okay. How does a trainer earn the money? So time is money. They will sell you something. Okay. So these are the things I want to share with you. So if you take the wrong course, okay, you will end up doing the following: buying on emotions, buying a house, a nice house, see a loss of 2 to 400,000 because you paid additional, you overpaid for property. That's the biggest thing. Or buy at the wrong place that nobody wants, or take 5 years to break even. Okay, 10 years to make a small profit. So think that 2 properties are enough to retire at 40 when you at least, I will tell you, you need 7. Okay, so buy commercial properties. The other danger is to buy commercial properties in Singapore. Maybe in other countries, you have longer leases or freehold. Any commercial properties with 30 years or less in the lease is very dangerous. It's very difficult. Capital gains. My cousin, another cousin in Singapore, owns 7 commercial properties, industrial properties. And when he started buying, it's 60 years lease. Today it's down to 45, but it's okay. He's collecting a nice check of $5,000 per industrial property, and it's time for him to sell. But if you buy something with 30, by the time you finish, you want to sell to 20, the only people that will buy from you are business owners that need the premise. Okay, so I just want to tell you the truth now. Buy negative cash flow property, like in Singapore, is possible, but you make sure that you hold on to your job because it's really negative cash flow. So I just quickly run through my track record. 1 or 2 things. Okay, there is just too many things to tell. Okay, now I bought my my second property, I will say here, about close to 20 years ago. I bought at 388. I sold at 1.1 million. Down payment was only 78,000. I even had to borrow this from my dad, and my return was 115% per year. and it jumped from 388 to 1.1 million. That's where I tasted victory. Okay, fantastic. So next, I ventured into Australia. You will be very surprised. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. If you can write down there, I'll be good in the chat group. I bought a townhouse. And I bought a apartment. Okay. When you go overseas, where this townhouse is somewhere in the middle of nowhere, where will you buy these two? Where will you buy? Which one will you prefer at the end of the day? Left or right, L or R? You want to write down L or R? Maybe I shouldn't even put but it doesn't matter. They are about the same L or R. Right. Okay. Everybody say right hand. London. Okay. Okay. Great. Thanks. Thanks for all your Evelyn and all that. Okay. Now let me tell you this. The truth is, on hindsight, right? This is in Tingaupa. Anybody heard of Tingaupa in Australia? This is in Tower Hamlets. Tingaupa. Okay, now on hindsight, today, do you know what is the value of this townhouse? It's not even, I sold in 2020. It's now 800,000. Should I sold it because I was tired of this. I wanted to take out some cash and start my business, become a fund manager. So here, today the value is still at 450. So I can tell you, if I wind back the clock, this one I will hold, this one I will sell. Okay. So what does that tell you? People love house piece of land. Okay. Even in a place like Tingaupa in Brisbane, this is much, much better. So when I tell you, here's the thing, when you buy overseas, I think everywhere you go, even in Malaysia, it's better that you have a piece of land. Okay. You will have a higher chance now. Of course, I went to UK to buy, and I bought houses after that. Okay. They jump in value. Now, at the end of the day, I put in $1 million. I put in 1 million. At the end of 10 years, it's worth about 5 million worth. Okay, so 5x my return. And why I put a picture of this, I just love old houses with characters. They tend to give me better appreciation. But there's a lot of maintenance, so you've got to know what to do. Okay, so I won't go through the numbers like that. But even in London, I went to London to buy. The return, all you need to look at is the return here. This is a very busy chart. I want to make it simple. It is 41% return per year. All right. And I managed to arrange for finance. So how do I do it? How do I do it? Okay. Now, right, Bonnie, land. Land is the one that I appreciate. So everywhere I go, there's one thing I always try to do. How many people are competing against me when I try to sell? For properties, before you buy, you always think about two things. Who is going to rent from you and who is going to buy from you? Right? Sad, right? When you buy property, you need to think. It's just like stocks. When you buy United Health at 300 last night, right? What is the fair value? It's 450. Okay? Who will buy from you? Who's a sucker that will buy from you at 450? You got to think about it, man. So United Health was much cheaper at 250, 270, right? So I always tell myself, I need to buy something that is special, different. So I like to buy corner terrace. Why I like corner terrace? I don't like to have share a wall with someone. So I like to pay a bit more. Because at least there's some light at the side and there's some, so be different. Okay, number two, next thing, buy from motivated sellers. You need to know why your seller is selling. If he's not motivated, it's tough. Okay, if you're just testing the market. So this one, always ask for a reason. This guy, the owner is retiring, going to an old folks home, and that's it. And third thing, don't be stingy. Renovate, make the house nice. If it goes a long way. So we did it, and we bought at 130. We got offered at 175. We rejected it. Today, I think it's probably worth about 230, 220. Okay. And we took out all our money over here. We took out all money. Now, why are we talking about this? Why are we talking about this is that we are actually promoting a membership, a community. Okay, by joining our community, it's a lifelong learning. We are around, we have a team of Eugene, Josh, and myself, and the team is growing. That will mentor you through the journey. So you learn to value properties the right way, that can make a profit on the first year that you buy. Learn to buy under a joint venture structure. We will guide you. It's a community, not the way that you have to, I buy it alone and all that. It makes sense to buy as a team. Just as when I venture into my commercial property, I wanted to buy with a friend because he is better, but he has less cash. I have the money, but I have no experience buying commercial, so I rather go with him. So learn to find cash flow positive properties so that you can keep going on to buy more, okay, without increasing your risk. Number four, identify the right cities. Okay, so I know that you can always ask, so what about Japan? What about this? What about that? Okay, you have to go to a city. If you're buying residential, the population must be growing, the jobs must be growing. If the population is shrinking, you probably shouldn't be buying residential. So in Japan, the population is shrinking. The only thing that can work is tourism. So you need to buy something else, hotels in Japan. Think about it, yeah. And also ask yourself when you buy a property, whether there's surrounding area, there's a lot of projects that's coming up, is probably not a good thing. Okay, it really will fight with you for rental, and all that. So free. Okay, so the journey is a membership that we are promoting. We give you free refresher webinars to keep you going. We want to do this on a regular basis, like every 2 months. We will arrange for free physical webinars, okay, where we will meet you guys in person. Okay, free physical seminar, sorry, my English. Number seven, learn from people who have done it. Learn to grow your capital from 100,000 to 2 million in 10 years. Okay, so it's a numbers game. You need a mentor to guide you through. So taking the wrong course or not even paying for it is really it's going to hurt you. So gym membership, how many of you are in Fitness First? Yes, it's a lot of information. I won't make it light. But how many of you are from Fitness First or some kind of a gym membership? Say yes. I might see you, right? How many of you are gym membership? Yes, yes, yes. Bonnie, yes. Okay, Fitness First. I'm actually this guy here. I wish maybe in 5 years' time. So a lot of people join for gym membership, yeah? And you know what happened? What happened to people who join membership? Oh my God. You only join for the first year, and the first 3 months you do 4 times a week. And after that, the next 3 months you go 2 times, and after that you stop. You know that research has shown that gym members gyms are the worst, one of the worst business to do. You know why? Nobody finishes there, nobody continues. So you need to have a physical trainer, a PT, someone that will keep kick your ass and say keep coming back for refresher, come back and talk, come back and meet us, we explain to you. So we realize that giving you a course, an online course, is not going to help you very much. Okay, you attend a course, yes, the package includes a cost, but we want you to come back and keep meeting us. So that is called a gym membership. And we are selling it cheaper than most gym membership. Okay. So, like I said, think about where you are. Go to the countries where the cities where the property growth is higher. It may not be Singapore. Okay. Right. And then we go to this. Okay. Now, I'm coming to the end. Then after I pass you to Eugene. So Okay, so a lot of people think that I'm not saying that UK is the best, but this is one good example. Now, this is an example of UK property. And this is a data that has is already sold prices. 1995 January to May to now. Okay, so you can see the capital appreciation for detached house is 537% per year. That's pretty good, right? It's 6.3% CAGR. If you leverage it, it's close to 20% return. Okay. Semi-detached is 6.25. Terrace house is the best, 6.9. Okay. All in all is 6.21. That's very good return, right? Okay. So is it true that only your own country, is it Singapore? Singapore's return is what? 4.5. Okay. So think carefully and be open-minded. Now, the next thing I want to tell you, a lot of people don't understand. How many days does it take to sell a property in your own home country? Put a number down. Come on. The more you type, the better it is. How many days does it put a number? What do you think? How many days do you think it takes to sell your property in whether you're in China, in Singapore, or UK or Singapore, wherever? Ang Yixian is correct. Thanks for your honesty. Fu Wei is correct. 6 months, 1 year. SAS, where are you from? 90 days is good. Bonnie is 3 months. Zona is 3 months. Wow, you guys are active. That's great. Okay. Now you'll be very, I tell you the thing, when you go to buy a property anywhere in the world, you'll be very surprised. It took me 1 year to sell my property in Singapore. I know you will tell me that, okay, there are some property agent, you got the wrong agent, you bought in the wrong place. True. But I can tell you that I've seen over 200 properties before I buy my landed property. And I can tell you, I know 200 properties is really a sample. 30 and above is already a sample. I can tell you, on average, they've been advertised for at least 6 months to 1 year. You believe me or not? On average, I would say landed is 9 months in Singapore. Condo is about 3 to 6 months. Okay, it depends on your expectation. I'm talking about not unreasonable expectation at market value. How many days, if you buy in Thailand, how many days does it take to sell? The reason in Singapore landed is already 5 million, 6 million, 7 million. How long, how many people can afford? So you hear all the story about landed dreams, all that. Yeah, when you want to sell, please be careful. 6 months to 1 year. So in UK, on average is the fastest is under £100,000, but on average is 36 days to sell. That's 1 month, no. 1 month to sell. Is it very liquid? Very liquid. You need to buy in a country and a city that is very liquid to sell. I tell you, this is so important. Repeat after me. Liquidity, days to sell. Okay, type down days to sell is the one that goes, that is important. I put in a chat group. If you cannot remember everything, just remember days to sell. Now, the next trick is look for property that takes the least number of days to sell. That is the most in demand and the least in supply. Do you have that statistics in Singapore? Do you have the statistics where you are? So I can tell you in Manchester, I'm just taking an example. I do a lot of data analysis. 31 days for 3 bedrooms. 2 bedroom is 37, 4 bedroom is 40. I would say 3 bedroom houses. So the problem is most investors end up buying 2 bedroom, but actually 3 bedroom is the most shortage. It's the same as Singapore, right? Okay, so what type of houses sell the fastest? Apartments 57, terrace house 27, semi-detached 23. So if I were you, what would I buy? I will buy terrace and semi-D, correct? So that's the truth. Now, next thing I want to tell you, I'm towards the end, is high density versus low density. Now, imagine that you buy a project. Low density, the building is 100 million like this. Okay, let me ask you, which project will appreciate faster? The one B or the one A above? A for above. You want to type down B or A? Okay, so A or B is A is above, is like Hong Kong property, very high dense. Okay, so a building that's 100 million and the land is 100, 200 million, though low density, very high land content. Okay, 10 years time, the building will depreciate. Trust me, the building depreciate. Don't go and tell me the building appreciate. Go and check your accounting. You can check ChatGPT. The land is the one that appreciates. The land which it sits on. So the capital appreciation double in value in land. The capital appreciation 40%. A new project, nice and shining, high density, 200 million worth of building, 100 million worth of land. The land content is only 1/3. At the end of 10 years, the building has depreciated, same, 20% depreciation. The building, the land has doubled, but the appreciation is only 20%. So you're better off buying something that is low density. That's why landed is the best. Okay, but if you cannot, then buy low density projects. Okay, that is in general, but in Singapore, it's a bit different. Okay, now, suburbs for investment, there are three parts: school, home, and work. School, lifestyle, or work. Okay, sorry, school, lifestyle. Where would I put in as the biggest factor? School is by far the most important, and studies have shown that primary school is the most important, because when you have kids going to primary school, you don't want to be too far and for safety. Okay, lifestyle, because you want to be near your parents. Okay, that makes sense, or near the beach. And then third is the work, near the workplace. All right, so if you have a place that has satisfied all three, you're okay, you're good. All right, that is the trick wherever you go. So yeah, so anyway, in the market, their property costs, they are like $35,000, $13,000. Okay, we do not advocate this. It's a journey. So we have a program. So what makes our membership special? I made money using the B4R, buy, refurb, refinance, rental, and then recycle. So 200,000, 3 million in 12 years. They make money from selling courses. So I have teams to help you buy below market value. We are here to teach you how to do it. With properties that below market, you're more likely to extract capital and recycle. That's how you're going to get your 10 in 10 or 10 properties in 5. I teach you how to forecast rental, capital growth, and integrate them in the financial model. Or we also have a package that can do for you. So, okay, those of you who are buying overseas property, remember, buying off-plan, uncompleted, if you buy from exhibitions in Singapore, it's probably very expensive. Because the good properties, when they come to Singapore, it's already, if you want to buy new builds, it's better to get from the agent in UK. I just want to tell you this, rather than they come here and sell you. Okay, how to get it is also join the membership. We'll tell you. So 3 to 5 years of capital appreciation will be white cloth if you're not careful. So unsaid rules, when you buy in a country, always take a bank loan. Why? If the local banks is not willing to lend you, there's something wrong with the property. Seriously, if the bank won't lend you, it's just like the cook. Your cook sell you the chicken rice or whatever the steak, the juicy steak. And when it's time for the cook to eat his dinner, he won't even eat his own food. Then there's something wrong with it, right? Is the property worth it? And it's important to ensure the title is good, because when the bank is lending you the money, they will make sure that the lawyer is very honest and will do work for you. Okay, so this is what I tell you: try to borrow money when you're overseas.